The Dream SMP is one of the biggest things that's happened to Minecraft YouTube in the past few years, if not ever. That's why in this video, I'm going to be talking about how the Dream SMP is the best thing that's happened to Minecraft YouTube for a long time. Now, you may be calling me stupid for making this video, and that's fair, because this video is a two-parter. I'm going to be uploading another video in a few days, probably 3 days time, where I talk about all the bad stuff that came with the Dream SMP blowing up on YouTube. And it might even be out when you're watching this. With that out of the way, here's why the Dream SMP is the best thing that's happened to Minecraft YouTube, at least in the past few years. Let's start with one of the most important points. The Dream SMP rejuvenated Minecraft's audience from being younger children from the ages of about 8 to 13 to a much older audience of teens from 14 to 17. Now, this doesn't seem like a huge deal, but the thing is that even with people like Wilbur Soot, Dream, and more causing the audience to mature before the SMP blew up, this didn't have a massive impact on the Minecraft YouTube space as a whole. Wilbur was great at attracting an older audience, but was also much more of a variety creator than purely a Minecraft one, and Dream's audience grew so quickly that because of the overwhelming amount of kids on YouTube just as a platform in general, it was cancelled out. That all changed just as the Dream SMP blew up, and for a few different reasons. 1. The creators I mentioned earlier, Wilbur, Dream, are incredibly good at not only attracting new fans, but also keeping them for a long time. That means even as they, especially Wilbur, hit their theoretical limit or ceiling of sort in terms of how many new, more mature eyes they could bring to the space, because of their incredible ability to keep viewers watching for quite literally a few years without leaving, those viewers aged as the Dream SMP was blowing up, bringing up the fandom as a whole in maturity because of their size as creators, meaning that just because of their ability to keep people watching and their ability to attract people of all sorts, even a subsection of Wilbur's massive audience who are part of the Minecraft YouTube space growing up has a massive effect on the composition of it as a whole, and the same goes for Dream. The second thing that the Dream SMP facilitated was a greater intermingling between YouTube and Twitch in terms of audience. Twitch, which is where the SMP blew up thanks to Tommy, has always had a classically much older audience than YouTube, in part thanks to it being a comparatively smaller platform, which means that an SMP blowing up on Twitch inherently means that the viewers of the SMP will not only be older, but be mature enough to be using a site other than YouTube, leading to that same audience which gets transferred to YouTube not only being older, but also signaling to YouTube that despite Dream SMP videos being Minecraft content, they should be recommended to an older audience. This also then snowballed because of previous fans of Minecraft coming back to the game they once loved, along with a lot of their old favourites also coming back, meaning that the space revitalizing drew in the old creators, whose ideas along with the nostalgia drew in the old viewers, which again led to the space growing older. Alright, great, we've got the boomers back. Why should I care? Well, basically what having an older audience does is it allows so much more creative freedom to the creators in the fandom. Like, well, this. There is not a single, actually no, there are approximately 14 8-year-olds on Minecraft YouTube who have the attention span for this kind of content. It's the simple truth that more catered to kids content still does and always will do well in the Minecraft space. The only reason a channel like mine can survive without just doing daily recaps of the Dream SMP is because you, the viewer, are old enough and mature enough to either enjoy or be engaged by my content. That's the only reason you've watched this far. This maturation of the Minecraft audience also allowed for another thing, which is my second point. With the resurgence of a much larger, older audience to the Minecraft space, new forms of content like analyses and lore theories, like me, which are essentially just literary analyses at their heart, are, well, unlocked. Minecraft YouTube has leveled up back to that point where it feels like you can do anything in Minecraft and have an audience willing to watch. That kind of creative freedom is unrivaled. It means that for creators who are willing to shake off the idea of
haha, block game, bad graphics, only for children, lol, bad,
could enter the space and make their most fantastical ideas come to life, or express themselves in this new medium with a fresh new take on content that might have been getting stale before. Like, take Charlie Slimeskull for example. Charlie has always been subscribed to and watched for him, his humor, his personality. His type of content is quintessentially Tommy. His type of content is quintessentially comedy. Minecraft did for Charlie basically the same thing the Dream SMP did for Tommy, in giving him a medium with a large inbuilt audience and a huge amount of inbuilt potential to do his own thing in. And that large inbuilt audience is only there because of the older audience of Minecraft nowadays. Now, what comes lumped in with all of these incredibly large creators using Minecraft to express themselves thanks to the twin benefits of it as an incredible medium and the massive audience? Well, thanks to Dream SMP blowing up, and thereby blowing up the medium and increasing the proportion of that audience which is receptive for that content, that large creator doesn't have to modify their content, and therefore that large creator's audience is also introduced to the Minecraft space on a positive note, and it's likely to at least check out one other video, if not become part of the fandom. If you watch Charlie's hour-long video in Minecraft, which is basically a comedy movie, when a TommyInnit video with Charlie in the thumbnail is recommended to you, it's obviously going to appeal to you, and there's an extremely high chance that you aren't familiar with Minecraft YouTube already because you're from Charlie, you're not from the inside of the Minecraft space, and new viewers are introduced to Minecraft YouTube thanks to the incentive the Dream SMP gave to large creators to make Minecraft content. And let's be real, once you watch that extremely well made and well edited and well paced TommyInnit video, even if you don't find it gut-bustingly funny, you're probably going to watch another and another. And god damn it, you've become an initer, this all backfired, retcon everything. Anyway, point number 3. This is a more obvious one. The Dream SMP is a way for nearly any creator who joins it, whether they're normally a Minecraft creator or not, to get an immense amount of exposure. A great example of this would be Foolish Gamers, who before joining the SMP had less YouTube subscribers than me by a lot, and is now bordering on 300,000. The SMP is like a power-up. It lets its creators who might be getting overlooked before, thanks to the immense competition of the Minecraft space, suddenly reach this massive audience and display their talents, and quite naturally, since the whitelist is so exclusive and thought out, with every new creator added showing their innate ability to entertain, the audience gradually develops more and more trust in, well, just the whitelist, and are more willing to support and watch creators they might not know of just because they joined the SMP. This means that talent that Minecraft YouTube might have otherwise missed, creators who might have been otherwise overlooked because there's so many, suddenly get the recognition that they deserve just for joining the SMP. It's a fast track to success, sure, but the thing is, to keep that success, to make sure that those 10,000 people who check out your first Dream SMP stream come back for more, that takes skill. That takes a great content creator, and the fact that this phenomenon has been common for most creators who have been whitelisted is a testament to not only the SMP's power as a spotlight of sorts, but also reflects on the ability of Dream and the other whitelist members to pick out talented creators and identify underrated members of the community. Next, the Dream SMP helped to revive SMPs as a Minecraft YouTube subgenre, and let me explain what I mean by this. Before the Dream SMP specifically blew up, it was hard for any SMPs, save for Hermitcraft, Legacy SMP, and Sidecraft, to really take off and catch the eye of the mainstream Minecraft YouTube audience. SMPs had had their time. It seems like now that the golden age of the SMP was over after Crazycraft and One Life way back when, they would never return. The audience that had enjoyed SMPs was gone. They were too slow-paced for newer, younger viewers, the creators who had used to play on the SMPs that either branched out to different content or stopped it entirely. That all changed with the Dream SMP blowing up, simply because of the massive number of new eyes it brought to Minecraft while also being an SMP. This meant that on YouTube, Minecraft content was favored, and SMP based like Dream SMP content on an SMP with a twist at freshness suddenly had a much larger audience and was able to flourish once more. Now this point is the weakest so far, since there are tons of other SMPs that have been going on since before the Dream SMP blew up, and I've almost certainly missed some here, but with the Dream SMP blowing up and showing that with a good set of content creators and funny interactions that SMPs could become popular, the idea of making an SMP was no longer inherently non-YouTube savvy one. The rejuvenation of the SMP genre led to extremely innovative SMPs being created, like the X-Life SMP, the Empires SMP, or Third Life, which wasn't exactly influenced by the Dream SMP, but it's innovative, so I'm mentioning it here anyway. The first two of which were almost certainly indirectly influenced into being created by the Dream SMP. There was a period of time back in late 2020 and early 2021 where you couldn't log on to Twitter without a new SMP being created by a bunch of small to medium content creators, and the only reason that wave spawned was because Because while SMPs have always been a great way to show off interactions and builds and create much more comedy-based, interaction-driven, and easy to produce content, thanks to the ability to bounce off another person rather than having to carry commentary, world building, and more by yourself all the time, the Dream SMP opened a large portion of Minecraft YouTube's eyes to SMPs again and made them reconsider their preconceived notions, if any, about the idea as a whole. It built up the trust in viewers that SMPs aren't a bad thing to watch as a form of content over manhunts or comedy videos, for example, thus reviving what is inherently one of the best forms of and what was one of the backbones of Minecraft content, especially while it was in its golden age. Apart from that, the Dream SMP did one last thing for SMPs as a genre, and that was to reintroduce the idea of watching an SMP for the creator rather than the game. And let me explain what I mean by this. The SMPs that were big before the Dream SMP were big for Minecraft, meaning that although you tuned into your favorite creators for their commentary or their gameplay, one of the major selling points of the SMP as a whole was the crazy things the players would do in-game, be that insane redstone builds or even the rules of the SMP itself. The content in the video was largely centered around Minecraft as a game. I mean, these creators, unless they had an incredibly large audience on the scale of, say, like Mumbo Jumbo, couldn't really branch out from Minecraft and have their audience carry over in a meaningful way. That was all completely turned on its head by the Dream SMP in specific. Wilbur started it as a variety creator for sure, but people like Dream are very heavily linked to Minecraft on YouTube. The SMP changed that, in part at least for Dream, even though he has such a massive audience, because the SMP itself doesn't matter. I said this before, the personalities of the creators, their interactions, are the content in Dream SMP streams and videos, not the actual thing they're doing in Minecraft. TommyInnit gets millions of views on a video of him building a cobblestone tower, which is just a 4x4 square extending up to build limit. That slightly changed with some members like Foolish and Awesome Dude, but it holds for most of the content on the SMP, from Lacoste to the lore. Since the content isn't intrinsically linked to Minecraft, it means that Minecraft YouTube as a space has become much more forgiving for Dream SMP members and therefore allowed them to branch into a bunch of different spaces and thus make a name for Minecraft YouTube there in a positive light, rather than the negative light it might otherwise be viewed in because of preconceived notions of Minecraft. That means more people coming to Minecraft YouTube, which in the end is, simply put, great. Remember to check out part 2 of this series since you seem to enjoy the first one.